If you want your WRX to have a lot of turbo noises like this, and actually gain more power than normal for a stock to aftermarket intake, this is one of the best modifications for the VB platform. This is an MAPerformance product, really simple, not hard to install. Highly recommend for this platform. We had a blast with this modification. There's a link in the description, whether you just click it or you purchase from it. That's the best way to support us, to help us keep creating content like this. So if you enjoy it, make sure you support us that way. We appreciate you. Let's unbox it, install it, let you listen to it, and enjoy it together. Let's get into it. In this box is the MAPerformance intake for the VB WRX. Got a nice wrinkle black style powder coat, raw pipe. We have a coupler, the intake filter. They have a nice little MAPerformance branded intake filter. It's a gray color. The intake on this car is really simple. You got your bung for your mass airflow sensor, an arrow to tell you which way it needs to go. Welds look nice. This is a stainless piece. Should look pretty cool. And you get some turbo noises and some increased auto response. Make some more power. Should be a fun time. Then this right here is a shield to block heat from the engine. So you get as close to ambient air temperature as possible into your filter to keep your power levels as high as possible. We're gonna start the intake install. It's an interesting system because the intake pipe goes through the fender well and then it comes out the bottom by the turbo. So I got this little plastic Phillips heads. I don't really love these. I get a pry tool underneath at the same time. Pull these out for this ducting, and we're gonna go ahead and twist and lift at the same time. The screwdriver doesn't really grab it. There we go. Let me pull this out and see if this ducting just slides off. Indeed it does. I'm gonna set these two together. Next thing I wanna do is the MAF sensor right here. I'm just gonna disconnect the wire. The key is to pinch that tab hard enough until you hear it click, and then it pushes off pretty easy. I'm gonna grab my plastic removal tool. There's the sides of these little tabs. You just gotta use this tool as like a finger and get in there and pry this out safely without destroying that clip. So our wire is fully disconnected. Now we need to take off the actual intake pipe, which I'm gonna improvise this flathead and use this tool. It's never very tight. They're not under a lot of pressure. Let's see if I can get it by hand. Yep, we're totally free. And then I'm gonna wiggle it and I'm gonna disconnect these. So I went ahead and used my tool to push off the hose from the actual intake box. And now to get this side of the intake box out, it looks like I have some sort of 10 mil right there. I'm gonna go get a ratchet. So I got my 1/4" drive ratchet. It's loose, see if I can get in there by hand. And then don't wanna drop this nut. Got it, didn't drop it. So I'm gonna pull the top half out. Looks like we got some more 10s down there. I need a big extension. Big extension acquired. Got one more. And we are free. That's the part from the top. You're gonna need to put your car on jack stands or ramps to get to the bottom. We have the lift because it's easier to film, so we can help you get the ultimate confidence by having the best camera angles, so do not let the lift distract you. I need to get this fender liner out of the way. So there's a 10 mil right here. All plastic clips from here. These stubborn ones with dirt in them, you just gotta work them off and don't force it, and then all the dirt will slowly kind of come out. Sick. These clearly just want to be replaced. Okay, now we have access to what we need. So up in here, we got a 12 mil. Take my flathead, come over here on the turbo, loosen this hose clamp. Does anyone know what these little zits are for? Is it sound deadening, I'm assuming? Lame. Okay, we got this coupler on here. And we got our clamps positioned the same. Then we can take our pipe. But before we do this, to make our life easier, I want to put the MAF sensor on it. We got a little screwdriver. Pull out these. And pull this out. It's got a rubber seal. We've got arrows on the flange, the bung I mean. And then we got arrows on the actual deal. press that seal in, and then these are threaded, so we gotta find those bolts. This is the kit that came with the intake, all of our hardware. You can walk these Allen head ones in. 3mm Allen head. So now we're gonna take the pipe, slide it up in here, put it in my coupler, and then coming over here, so there's a 12mm bolt for the bracket up in here, like the factory one. Parker's getting the hose clamps dialed in. There's a piece of tape right here. I'm cutting it so I can reach the MAF on here, clip on. So that's good. That's secure. The mounting bolt down below, I had to loosen it and then push the intake pipe as far towards the passenger seat as possible for the intake filter to clear. This guy right here. Parker's gonna loosen it for me. That's good. All right, now let's do the heat shield. This fuse box bolt is a 10mm. Black spacer included is gonna go between the heat shield, that, and then this Allen head bolt will go through. And this is a 5mm Allen head, and I got the ball head sockets so I can get in here at an angle, whatever's most comfortable. Leave that loose, and then we'll get the two 10mm down there. Our 10. Solid. Dialed. MAF sensors in. Now we just gotta go underneath, button up the plastic, and put the heat shielding and everything back. Now that you have some crazy turbo noises, you're thinking about a J pipe or a down pipe possibly, or maybe you already have it, it's time to get into tuning next. So I'm gonna have that process highlighted, the details, and a conversation with Alan right here. Check out this video where we talk about tuning.